Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God,
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I am Josh Mabry, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing tonight, sir?
Doing okay.
All right.
We talk some wrestling.
We talk some wrestling. There's a lot of it that's happened. Saturday, Monday, pretty much all the days except for Tuesday, but technically Tuesday there's some other stuff that goes on. But anyway,
yeah.
To kick off here. Speaking about, and typically we talk about WWE and AEW, but we're going to start off to talk about TNA because in the year 2025, they're going to lose pretty much all of their superstars, at least their big top earners.
Not all their superstars. There's a lot of shuffling going around.
Right. But so as we know, 2025, come literally the strike of midnight on January 1st, not exactly that date, but they're pretty much Jordan Grace is going to be leaving. And
sometime in January. You don't know the exact date yet. She said that her contract's up in January.
And then Josh Alexander, do you know when his contract's up?
His is up soon. And he's probably, the word is that he's going to test the free agent market and see if WWE or AEW is interested in him or not.
Okay.
He may end up staying in TNA, but he wants to see if WWE or AEW is interested in him or not, and if so, for how much.
I would have him go to WWE at this point. He's way too good of a talent.
AJ Freitas' contract is coming up soon. They're apparently renegotiating. Kushida is going back to New Japan. Trent Seven is apparently his time with TNA is coming up as well. And of course, the big news is we talked about it, and it's like the rumors were true. Tessa Blanchard is back in TNA. She returned last week. It was the special event there last Friday,
and she with Thunderous Applause,
final resolution last Friday.
Yeah, and she returned with Thunderous Applause, no controversy whatsoever. She
got boos, but the fans were definitely shocked. I think some of them kind of knew maybe it was her, but a lot of them were like surprised. She attacked Jordan Grace during her match with Rosemary, caused disqualification to later out.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be Jordan Grace's final feud is Tessa Blanchard before the contract's up.
And the scuttlebutt so far, Justin, is Jordan really doesn't want to work with her, but people in WWE, some females in WWE do, and with the TNA WWE. As far as we know, that's still a thing, working relationship. So Tessa can technically do something with NXT.
If they want to.
I don't know if they want to take on that situation.
Yeah.
But because Chelsea Green even chirped at Tessa, saying, of all these things, you still haven't apologized. And of course, we don't really know the details, but, she kind of fell to the wayside for bullying and being a dick, something of that nature. That's why we haven't seen her in forever. But it'll be interesting to see.
Rhino also said that he's going to.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Rhino's going to be leaving. There's another. But yeah, do we see the return of Mustache Mountain? With Trent Seven?
It's like we'll see if WWE is interested in bringing him back. He's the other half of Mustache Mountain there is unfortunately out injured still currently with a torn pec.
Yep, but his girlfriend is kicking ass with Sol Ruka. And do we see a reunited the North, which is Ethan Page and Josh Alexander? We could possibly.
That's something that people be kind of like, that'd be kind of cool if it happened.
Right. I don't think it needs to. Honestly, the Mustache Mountain's more intriguing to me just because rather than the North, because Ethan and Josh are just so good as singles. They really don't need to do that tag run. But still, if WWE thinks they can use Josh and it's for the right price, because Tony just anytime there's a top star that he can just put to the payroll, he's going to.
Yeah.
So I just think Josh is going to get lost in the shuffle like everything else in AEW.
Yeah.
So I don't really know about that. But do you think what direction does TNA go now? I mean, obviously, Nick Nebeth is having a really good
They
run.
still got a lot going for them. I mean, they've despite people worrying that it was going to go into the toilet when Scott D'Amore was let go. It's been actually a good year for them. They've been doing a lot of good stuff, good angles. I mean, Joe Hendry thing has caught fire. The Hardys seem to be doing pretty well in TNA. They definitely next to Jordan Grace, the women's division was definitely boosted. Masa Slamovich took the title from her. Looks to be primed to be the top star for a while because I think everyone's expecting Jordan to jump to WWE.
Yeah. And plus, I'm just kind of getting the feeling that you're having a lot more people actually, because there's more avenues to actually make a living in wrestling. Yeah. So you're going to see a lot more, especially in the female side as well. You're going to see a lot more females actually want to get into and pursue that. Plus with the WWE ID, TNA, AEW, WWE, and even New Japan. So you're going to see a lot more.
GIF is all for North Union.
Yes. But I just have that. Do you have that feeling? Are you getting that sense too that you're seeing a lot more people like actually pursue wrestling because there's an avenue for them to actually make a living?
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues now, which is a good thing, and a lot of opportunity. It's like because TNA's gotten good to the point where they're not as big as WWE or AEW, but you can do well there and make a name for yourself, and then maybe get AEW or WWE's attention. It's like they've worked with both companies. Although I think the WWE partnership has worked out better for them than the AEW one that they did a few years ago. I felt a lot more one-sided.
Right. I mean, it worked out in the fact that they got large pay-per-view buys when Kenny Omega was doing.
And the Joe Hendry thing, it's like you better put the belt on Joe Hendry at Genesis. No, he's the number one contender again.
Oh, wait a minute. We said it twice. Just make it. Okay. But you're always welcome on the show, Joe Hendry.
We love you.
We love you. We believe. We believe. Yes.
The fans believe, and so TNA better believe and put the belt on them this time, or
exactly.
else they might as well hand them over to WWE.
Yeah. But yeah, so it looks like TNA's going to be fine. It's just a lot of their top stars.
Yeah, there's some shuffling going on. But
shuffling is Gresham's. Do you know? I didn't see anything about Gresham.
I haven't seen anything about that either.
Okay.
But they still got plenty of people there that it's like
Ace Steel's still there, and
we have to see how the women's division is going to be with Tessa Blanchard back. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we shall see what if she's on her best behavior.
That's the thing. We'll see.
Yeah, because her in the ring is
there's
really
no doubt.
good.
I mean, she's a damn good women's wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no denying that. It's just that with what's happened is she's got a lot to prove, especially since she never made any kind of like public apology about a lot of the stuff that people said that how she treated people. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Raw Netflix press conference. That was eventful. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. I caught some of it.
Yeah. Kevin Owens showed up with the winged eagle belt, saying he's the true WWE champion.
Yeah, he's the true champion. He's stolen the winged eagle belt, carrying around, acting like he's like the real WWE champion. He even had those like tuxedo kind of shirts.
Yep. He said he dressed to the nines. Oh, I love heel dry humor Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than that. And him and Michael Cole trying to shut him up, saying you're not the champion, and then the cut off the mic. It was just great stuff there.
We got confirmation that Real Live has been added to
Mm-hmm.
a match added to the Netflix debut show. Got hyped for the Tribal Combat match, and apparently, from what Michael Cole said, CM Punk Seth Rollins is going to be the main event, which is kind of cool. Wild when you have Liv Rhea title match and Solo versus Roman for Battle of the Tribal Chiefs. He was the only Tribal Chief. It's a pretty stacked show.
Yeah, but the press conference was cool. The way it was all laid out, it was at the headquarters, and there were actual fans, and there was the way like some of the guys. Logan Paul unretired, surprise! Oh my god.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Logan Paul is officially moved over to Raw because of the transfer window.
But
he's leaving SmackDown and going over to Raw.
Yeah. And one of my favorite moments of that press conference was when Logan was like, "I've been watching a lot of Raw," and you just hear that one person faintly in the crowd going, "No, you haven't." I just thought it was a great chirping, and then
which makes sense. I mean, because of who he is, they would want him on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's like that. It's like when Fox when SmackDown launched on Fox for the first episode, they're going to put all of their people. All the main stars, like at least on the first couple shows, and then we're going to see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
But and now they're saying that they're going to have a tribal chief title, and I'm like, it's called the Ulafala, and I'm like, please don't do that.
That's just rumor right now.
Yeah,
not confirmed yet.
I'm sorry. If you have like a tribal championship. That's just like the FTW championship to me. Like it's there. I don't care. It's more the Ulafala is the thing. That's what it is. It's what that's always been. I don't need why you need a championship belt with it. I didn't care for that. The Rhea Liv kind of cooked in that press conference too. I thought she was.
I'm glad this finally happening. It's like let's get this feud over with.
Yes, please. So we can move on.
We can move on.
Rumor also is that Charlotte's going to be on that episode of Raw.
Maybe we'll see.
It just depends on if you can. Was there anything else in that press conference that stuck out to you?
We'll cover all the most important stuff that happened.
Okay. I mean, obviously Paul Heyman came out and fine. It's whatever.
Talking for Roman, yeah.
Yeah, talking for Roman. Okay, so. Max / AEW came out with their
they
details
posted
of the streaming.
Yeah, basically what's going to happen when come beginning in January, AEW is officially going to be available on Max. So they all live AEW programming airing on Warner Brothers Discovery Networks will also be available to stream on Max and on demand after their live broadcast. AEW Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage and all AEW pay-per-view library content through the end of 2024 will be made available on Max on a rolling basis. So not all of the old content is going to be available. Some of it will be, and then it's like they're going to roll it out slowly.
Mm-hmm.
All the AEW Dynamite episodes of pay-per-views from like their first year, 2019, will be on there first. And 2 months of the most recent AEW programming that aired on their networks. And also they said that they mentioned it on Dynamite. You can watch Dynamite live on Max as well. It will stream live. When it airs on TBS Live, it will stream also live on Max, like Netflix is doing.
Yeah, and I knew we kind of already knew that part. It was what other content are they going to be putting on Max, and which we got the 2019 Dynamite stuff, and it looks like they're slowly they can't just dump it all. I don't think they're
going to slowly upload all the old episodes of Dynamite and stuff, and all the old pay-per-views. I'm glad
pay-per-views definitely get me hyped. That
way, that's a good thing. All the old pay-per-views. Being up there is a good thing.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, guys, the best match in wrestling this week was on AEW by far.
Yeah,
that thing. Oh god, that cooked. That gave me goosebumps. That one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get into it. We're getting sidetracked here. So yeah, this is just. I think as a wrestling fan, I was really excited to see what's going on there. And I just read today, according to Variety, that AEW is a $2 billion company, or valued at $2 billion. I don't know I don't know what figures they used to do that, but Variety reported. It wasn't like AEW just said, hey, we're worth $2 billion. It's like, it's like WWE when they talk about attendance. It's like, we know it's skewed. It might be skewed a little bit, but according to Variety, them being worth $2 billion is the third highest grossing, or puts them third in the combat sports as far as value. Obviously, UFC and WWE, I would guess, would be the top two there. But that's crazy because with the attendance records and ticket sales and all that stuff, but yet they're still valued at that. So I don't know. Someone's really, really good at accounting, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But so far, I guess Daddy Con is happy with his investment so far. And the other thing, last thing here for our news is Justin's favorite female wrestler joins the cast of his favorite running sci-fi show, which Becky Lynch is joining the cast of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Obviously, this will be on Max or Paramount.
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Okay. Paramount Plus. All those Star Trek shows are Below Decks or Lower Decks or whatever. Love that show. That show's awesome. As far as I'm not a big Star Trek person, so I will turn over to Justin. Thoughts on Becky joining the cast, and much less what about? Tell us a little bit about Starfleet.
Well, apparently the show is going to be about young cadets training at Starfleet Academy to become Starfleet officers. It's going to be the focus of the show. They got pulled in some big name actors. Some people who've been on Trek before are coming back to play characters. They've got Holly Hunter, Paul Giamatti is going to be on it. So yeah, it's like on social media, Becky announced that she is playing a character on the show. Apparently a member of the bridge crew on one of the ships. Don't know. She didn't say like if it's just one episode or multiple episodes. We don't know, but that's pretty cool. She's she's dabbled into acting here and there. So very cool. So I look forward to seeing her when she shows up when the show debuts. The show's not going to. They've been filming the first season. It's going to debut either sometime next year or early 2026. We don't know yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, because it's like up and down. For according to IMDb, it's slated for it just says 2026, but then when you look at more reports, it could start in December or something like that and carry into January. Yeah. That's
two of my favorite things: pro wrestling, Star Trek.
It's like sports and art, as they say in Ted Lasso. It's like when sports and art combined. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, we kind of kept it a little short today on news just because we have a lot more wrestling content to get into. I saved NXT for last, like always, but I don't want to talk about it, Justin. Okay, I know what's going to happen. I don't want to talk about it.
Just breathe. Just breathe.
Breathe. She's supposed to just take it with her forever.
I know. It's good. It's going to be okay. Let's go to SmackDown first because that leads.
Could she just pull a page and like debut when she debuts on the main roster, just win the thing?
I don't know if they're going to go that far, but you can hope.
Man, God could hope. All right. Well, let's get into some breakdowns.
Yeah, let's go to SmackDown.
Let's go SmackDown.
Okay, here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Go home show before Saturday night's main event this past Saturday. It opened with Jimmy Uso cutting a promo, saying even though broke his toe, will be back soon, and said that he planned on doing big things next year, maybe even win the Royal Rumble or even the WWE title. But Drew McIntyre came up out of nowhere and Claymored him in the face. Nick Aldis was talking with Bianca Belair and Naomi in the back. All of a sudden, with Jade out, he's going to looks like he has to make Bianca and her vacate the titles. But Naomi stepped up and offered to be her replacement partner because it's been done before. Nick Aldis directly agreed, saying that they need to defend the titles as soon as next week. Then we had the semifinal match in the United States Women's Title Tournament, Tiffany Stratton versus Michin. Michin picked up the victory clean with each defeat to move on to the finals. We got a cool promo in black and white from DIY explaining their heel turn and winning the tag titles back from Marcy Machine Guns. Ciampa said he was the madman, but Johnny was the mastermind. And Johnny said that it's too bad that their flowers for Marcy Machine Guns are going to be for their funeral. And that set up a match between him and Alex Shelley for next week's episode in a response promo from later. We got a pre-taped promo from Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman saying it's been a rough year for him. Lost everything, but he plans on getting it all back. He challenges Solo to a tribal combat match for the January 6th Raw on Netflix debut. Winner will be the one and only tribal chief. We got the Phantasma explaining to Nick all this about how they're being treated, but maybe they should go to Raw, and Carmelo saying the same. And Carmelo went out to find out he was facing Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman squashed him in about 90 seconds. They cut a promo saying that he's always going to have business and going to take care of Solo Sikoa tonight. So Solo Sikoa and LA Knight had a match. Jacob Fatu eventually ran in and attacked LA Knight for the DQ. Bloodline beatdown happened. Apollo Crews and Andrade tried to make a save, but they also got beat up as well. A-Town Down Under invited Braun Strowman to be on the Grayson Waller Effect next week. And then the main event, the other semifinal match in the Women's U.S. Title Tournament, Bayley versus Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green picked up the victory with the Unprettier to move on to the finals at Saturday's main event against Michin. Cody Rhodes came out to a check, but then he got into a brawl with Kevin Owens to hype up their title match at Saturday's main event to close out the show. So that's all that happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
What are they doing to our poor Mello?
I don't know, man. It's better be leading to something good for him.
Oh, man. That's just... He was on such a good run there with Andrade, and then they just squashed him to Braun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have faith it's not just gonna be.
I'm trusting Triple H will turn it around eventually, but yeah, it's not he's having a rough time of it right now.
Yeah, but I think it kind of goes to his kind of cocky character too.
Yeah.
With that, so and also like he was on that good run, and they were like, all right, here's what y'all can do, and then they stepped up. With that Andrade best of 7 stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that really showed that Mello, Mello's here to stay. Like you could just see the talent with that. So, but I was surprised. That I knew Braun was coming back in this show, but I was surprised that they had him get squashed to Braun because he really didn't need to. Braun really didn't need to squash Mello of all people.
So no Penta yet.
Nope, but they previewed it. They can't. I think that's him. I don't know who else would be that.
We'll talk about that on Raw. That mysterious teaser that everyone's talking about.
All right, we got the match. We got the matchup, and we'll go over Saturday Night's main event here in a second. But we got the matchup that we wanted.
Yes.
But are you surprised that it happened the way it did with Tiffany and Bayley?
Yes, it did. Yeah. The fact that they got to go, that Chelsea and Misha got to go over Tiffany and Bayley, who are at the top of the card right now, was surprising, but it just showed that, they really wanted to showcase these two going into this title match. And this is the finals I was hoping for because I felt either one of them deserved to have the title. And although I'll be a little bummed for one, I'd be very happy for the other. For one, and because this is a good opportunity for either one to get Elevated, and I think in a way that kind of both got elevated. We'll get that in a second when we get to Saturday Night's main event. So yeah, that was all good. Solo and them doing typical stuff like expect. Yeah, no home. Dude, I'm already loving heel DIY. That black and white promo was so good. With Johnny explaining, why they did that, why they did Motor Machine Guns dirty, and then it's like, oh, you guys deserve your flowers. Too bad they'll be for your funeral. I was like, oh, Johnny.
Their production, the WWE's production on those taped promos are really good. Because even Roman stuff, and Roman said a bunch of everything that we already knew, so it wasn't like anything new that he said. Yeah. But the way it's shot with Heyman in the background and just how that was shot made what he was saying. It just and
plus him bringing up how important it's not just about what the Ulfal represents to him. It's like his father and his uncle, who both passed away this past year, were the ones who put that on him and officially declared him the tribal chief. Yeah. So it's like that's why that's why he wants it back so bad. It's like it's not just about that. Yeah, being the tribal chief. It's about what that represents to him personally, which I thought was great.
And if people don't realize that DIY can cut a promo, and the way they go back and how the chemistry they have, where Johnny would say something and then Ciampa would just come in and just to keep going, line for line.
I'm the man, but he's the mastermind.
He's the mastermind.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Also, whoever makes Tiffany Stratton's ring gear, this was like my favorite with the elf stuff. Yep. I thought her ring gear was really cool.
Tiffany's about at the breaking point. She's gonna cash in.
Oh no! What's and also speaking about breaking point, help me out. Crap. Candace, just
yeah, that the knife where it's like maybe you're just not a really good singles wrestler.
Yeah, I'm like it. They're finally utilizing Candace and she's killing it.
Yeah. I also love that Machine Guns responded also in black and white to DIY's promo.
Yep.
So yeah, Johnny versus Alex Shelley, that should be a low-key banger match tomorrow.
And what was the last thing I wanted to say? Nope. I forgot.
So I think at this point it's whoever attacked Jade, it's going to be either Bianca or Naomi. Like Bianca did it before the match happened, or Naomi did it because
thank you. That's what I was going to bring up. Is like, man, they are really just like
it's kind of like she was right there. It's like as soon as I was like, well, I'm going to have to straight. Oh no, I can take her place. And it's like, and she's right because when Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville were women's tag team champions last year, and Sonya went down with injury, Piper Niven took her place, and they got to run with the tag titles for a while. So, like she said, there is precedent, and she was quick to jump that. And what happened when her and Sasha walked out of WWE? Oh yeah, they were the tag team champions and were stripped of the titles when they walked out. So she never really lost that title in the first place. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden she's got that title back around her waist. A little sus?
I don't know. It seemed it's totally Naomi to me, the way they're presenting it. That attack Jade is just way too on the nose for me to not see. I'm like, there's got to be a swerve coming. There's got to be a swerve coming.
Maybe if they want to do, maybe they have a swerve coming. I don't know, but it's looking more and more like it's going to be a Naomi heel turn. That's when Jade finally decides to come back.
Yeah. Jimmy can cut a promo too, guys. Just so you know. If you didn't know, Jimmy can cut a promo. That was awesome. Yeah. I had fun. I laughed. I was smiling the whole time. And then Drew McIntyre claymoring him was the button on top of what we're doing here. Because I said it when I was watching it. I'm like, oh, he's going after all of them.
Yeah, no, he's going through the blood. He's going through the OG bloodline right now.
Yeah,
he made it even more clear on Raw.
It is so crazy that literally the people that were trying to take down the heel bloodline is now becoming heels because that bloodline is now face.
Yes.
And those people still have a heat, like the people and now they're getting pissed at other people for being like, okay, they're cool now. And they're like, wait a minute, hold on. It's been 4 years. Like, what are you talking about? So now you have like the two biggest heels in the company are now Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. It's like, now granted, Drew's been a heel for like all of 2024. We get that. But it all still stemmed from the bloodline screwing him over.
Yep. He hasn't gotten over it.
Hasn't gotten over it at the first that one clash. So
the first clash of the castle 2 years ago.
First clash of the castle. He still hasn't gotten over that, and then of course CM Punk got involved. But and that's another reason why because they teamed with his two biggest enemies.
Yeah, and people are like, why isn't he going after Punk? Because he helped grow. He already said Punk took a bribe. He's like he's not holding that against Punk. That he's like that. He said clearly in that promo. At least Punk took a bribe. The other ones are doing it because they're stupid.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, wow, the writing's good, guys, and it all kind of makes logical sense from as far as a wrestling storyline is standpoint. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad they did. But yeah, dude, I was just smiling and laughing the whole time during Jimmy's promo.
Yeah.
So dude's good there. So.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to some nostalgia for you. But Saturday Night's main event.
I grew up with Saturday Night's main event. I'm very curious to see what you think because you did not grow up with Saturday Night's main event like I did. So
no. All right.
All right, as a recap of Saturday Night's main event, the return of the iconic show back to WWE. Joe Tessitore and Jesse Ventura were acting as hosts, while Mike Cole and Pat McAfee primarily did commentary. Jesse the Body joined them for the main event. Nice retro look, ring ropes, the logo, even the referee uniforms, the way that the entrance ramp was set up, really cool. The opening match was Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre picked up victory with the Claymore clean. A lot of legends were shown hanging out ringside. Tito Santana, Jimmy Hart, Greg Hammer Valentine, Coco Beware. Then we had the women's world title match, Io Sky challenging Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan picked up the victory clean with Oblivion to retain the title. After the match, she was confronted by Rhea Ripley in the aisleway, and they had a stare down. Then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match, triple threat, Gunther defending against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Good action here. Eventually, Gunther powerbombed Priest onto the steel steps outside, and then powerbombed Finn Balor inside the ring to pin him, pick up the victory, and retain the championship. Then we had the finals, the crown of the tournament to crown the first ever women's United States heavyweight champion. Chelsea Green taking on Michin. Chelsea Green hit a prettier off of the top ropes. Pretty bold move. And was able to pin Michin to win. And she makes history as the first women's United States champion. Celebrated with Piper Niven in the ring after Aldis presented her with the title. Then Jesse the Body Ventura joined McAfee and Cole on commentary for the main event match, WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes against Kevin Owens. A lot of shenanigans happened in this match. There was a ref bump on Charles Robinson. He looked like Kevin Owens knocked Cody out long enough to get a pin, but the ref was out. Another ref came out. He also got bumped. KO looked to try to cheat with a chair. Cody dodged it and then decided to take advantage of the chair and hit Kevin Owens into the chair with Crossroads and pin him as a little nature cover to count the 3 count, and Cody Rhodes retained the championship. To close out the show, after the show was over, they later revealed that Kevin Owens went back to the ring and attacked him and hit him with a package pile driver and absconded with the Winged Eagle belt, which I forgot to mention. Cody came out wearing the classic WWE Winged Eagle Championship belt. Kevin Owens after he laid him out and he was stretchered out, he took the belt with him. It was confronted by Triple H. Big angle post show after it went off the air. So that's all that happened on the return of WWE's Saturday Night's Main Event.
All right. The presentation was cool. I will say, the show was great, but it did kind of come across as like a really cool house show.
Yes, because they played it safe.
Right.
No title changes happened. The matches were big, but it was definitely played it safe. So I definitely agree with you that.
Yeah. Not that it was bad. It just that's how it was presented.
Right.
And then, damn, Jesse hasn't lost a step, has he? He was awesome.
He was awesome.
Oh, he was so good. I forgot how I was just like, because I remember just seeing video, right? I just saw video and stuff, and then see him like some old school matches. Shout out WWE Vault, like some of the stuff that he would call. But man,
he had a little mispronunciation of some names.
Right.
Like Dominique said Dominic, but like during the call in the main event, he was like saying some great lines, especially like what does he do? Don't play the fans, cover him. I was like,
right.
That's the gist of the body. I remember.
He's so good. He's so good. And shout out Pat McAfee. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. The Raw debut is coming up soon, so McAfee is going to be back full time very soon.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they're not going to break up Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. I assume they're going to get moved to SmackDown with Corey.
Yeah,
because Wade and Joe have gotten. I really enjoy Wade and Joe on Raw right now.
Their chemistry is really good.
I'm glad. I love that Tessitore had like the bow tie on, kind of, and he said like a nod to Mean Gene. I thought that was nice.
Yeah. And the referees were in the old.
That's the thing. What I loved about most is that the retro feel was like spot on. They had the red, white, and blue ring ropes like they did back in the day. They had the old school logo on the turnbuckles, not as in WWF, but how the old logo used to look when I grew up watching wrestling, but in the modern WWE shape. That was great. The refs in the old school uniforms that's how referees dressed when I first started watching wrestling back in the 80s. And the way the entrance ramp was so narrow.
Yeah.
And like no big flashy thing. It's like, yeah, you saw a little bit of it. But it was mostly about the music, and then they were like really close to the fans. It was like that's how it was on the old Saturday Night's Main Event. Loved all of that. Before we get into the matches and stuff, my two major complaints are there was too many fucking commercials. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was watching this on Peacock. It felt like there was like 4 minutes worth of commercials instead of 3. I'm like, what the F? Because
it's on the major NBC network, so they're going to pump as many commercials into that as they can.
And that hurt the flow of the show, because I think it would have been better if they only did 4 matches, because we could have gotten the match a little more time, because I felt all the matches felt short.
Yeah, because it was like, all right, Sammy McIntyre, ring the bell, and it's over.
Cody versus KO barely got 13 minutes without commercials.
But speaking about the other retro, I have to play without sound. But this is
the other wonderful thing that happened. They let him do it. They let him do it. They let him have it. Oh God, it looks so freaking good on him.
It looks so good. It's a little bit, so it's like a mix to me of like the regular wing and the big
actual one. It's a replica because it's not, because it doesn't have the WWF logo. It's got the WWE logo on it.
Right.
So it's a replica, but it's still the old school winged eagle title belt. And it was like everybody online, especially people from my wrestling generation, that was the title belt that I grew up watching. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, all the way to Stone Cold.
Yokozuna.
Yokozuna, all those guys, that was the belt that they had when they were champion. So I was all, it's like, I had a feeling when he was like, all right, I'm going to let you, this is one night only. I'm like, oh, please let him have the week. Because Cody's been pushing this so hard too. He's wanted to bring that title belt back, because it's like he loves that belt too. So it looks so good on him.
It's so good, and because like the gold one that he has, it's fine, but it just doesn't fit him. This fits Cody. As soon as I was like, Yeah, that is your dude. That is that belt fits Cody. And then when Kevin, now he's walking around with it, that title is just so perfect. It's so perfect.
And I love the fact that because of the post-show angle, it's still around because KO is walking around with it
because he's the true
and pretending that he's the real WWE champion.
And so going back to the first match, so obviously McIntyre Sammy was fine.
Yeah.
But as far as the other angle, when he said 1 down, 4 to go, who's the 4? Jimmy, Jay.
Well, I think Jay's next, and then he's going to go. I think. Well, I don't think Jimmy counts as the 4. I think it's Sammy, Jay, Solo, and
no, he's going after Solo for sure.
Because Jimmy doesn't count because he's out injured right now, so there's nothing he can do with him. Yeah, it's like all he can do is just Claymore in the face, and that's it. But yes, exactly. Yes, for the win, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get to the green Meechin here in a second.
One other thing, I agree with Giff on this. The way that they used to open Saturday night's main event was they have wrestlers going to be on the show cut promos about who their opponent was. They go back and forth. They did do this, but they didn't put it on the show. They put it out on social on X. I wish they had put it at the beginning of the show because that would have also been a nice touch and nod to the old Saturday.
And that's where the old school fans and WWE trying to adopt with social media is, the stuff, the angles with the angle with Kevin Owens after the show, that was all through social media, and like Triple H coming out and confronting him. People are like, why couldn't you just have it on the show? And people are like, well, here's what they're trying to do. Same thing with the promos with the Saturday Night Main Event.
I wish they had been on the show, but I get why they did it. But it's like people's criticism I completely understand. But yeah, so I think the 4 is, I think Solo is on the hit list because remember, Solo made his debut and joined the Bloodline when he attacked Drew McIntyre and screwed him out of beating Roman for the title Clash of the Castle 2 years ago. So Solo played a part of that. Even though Solo and Roman are at odds, doesn't mean that he prefers Solo and Roman. He wants them both to pay for what happened to him at Clash of the Castle 2 years ago. So I think I'll get into more to Raw. There's some possible theories on what's going to happen with that Tribal Combat match.
Yeah. I got to put up again. It's so gorgeous. It's just so freaking gorgeous, and it fits so well. It's just so good.
Mm-hmm. Look, it's like, and you just look at Cody was just like yeah, baby.
Yeah, yeah. He's just it's so good. It's so freaking good. Anyway, so yes, back to the Chelsea is over. That was a really cool moment.
The finish was great.
That finish
was all right. The finish was really good.
The finish was really good.
The fans were really. It's like Chelsea's supposed to be a heel, but the fans were really rooting for her to win.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually, especially if Jacob Fatu and the Tongans turn on him potentially, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not going to say no to that.
But Fatu loves Solo.
He right now he loves Solo. But yeah, no. As much as I'd like to have seen Meechin win, I'm happy for Chelsea. She's put in so much work since she came back, especially this past year, with all her character work, her performance at Money in the Bank. The two people that the fans wanted to see most win Money in the Bank this year, it was between Chelsea and Tiffany. They were the two most over people in that match.
Yeah. And by people, definitely these two people that you see on your screen. Like Tiffany, Chelsea, who do you want? You're like, I want Tiffany. I was like, I want Chelsea. But I think it's a win-win either way. And then she cut that really cool promo, like when there was no press. Remember that? And like in the press, she's like, hey. And they were like, Tiffany, he's like, Chelsea, what are you doing? There's no one here.
I mean, they played up how because she has a fear of heights. And so like that's why the crowd popped big when she finally was up there. And it looked like she was going to get the briefcase before Tiffany shoved her off. And she did that crazy sick bump through the tables off the top of the ladder before Tiffy took the briefcase to win it. Fantastic. So props to you, Chelsea. You have earned this. Yes. You've made history. You are the first women's United States heavyweight champion. Congratulations. Well deserved. How long she's going to keep the belt? That's what we're going to wait and see, because Michin made it clear she's going to try to take that title from her. So she's not giving up on that yet.
Yeah.
And you know what I loved is that excuse me. Ooh, sorry. Excuse me. My dinner is coming back. Coming back up here. My apologies. You know how normally Triple H does the photo with when someone wins the titles. The point is Bianca.
Right.
Oh, you want to do the point?
Yeah.
For this, he did one for Chelsea, but he also did one with Michin, even though she lost. Saying that the future is bright for her. So even though Michin didn't win, I have a feeling that in 2025 she's going to have gold around her waist, because Triple H wouldn't give a nod like that for someone who didn't win if he's not got something in mind for her.
And that's one of my favorite videos ever, is from the classic when people were chanting "Sign Mia." He has that, when he tells her that they've signed. I remember that for the Mae Young Classic, and they were like, please. I heard all these people saying, "Please sign Mia, please sign Mia," and I said yes, and then she just starts like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, and I was like, "All right."
Triple H it's like she's one of Triple H's favorites. So I was like, it's like I would like to, but it's okay. It's okay. Chelsea won. Yeah. So I think eventually Mia's going to get her chance to shine. This was definitely a good start.
And you don't have
try to help build her up with the fans a bit with this tournament run, even though she didn't win.
Because you don't have Michin go over Tiffany clean like that if you don't and have her in that. Because I think that's another reason why he probably did the point with both of them. Not only does he have faith in both of them, and obviously Chelsea winning the title, but it was the finals. So maybe he was doing that to also do the nod of, they both worked hard to be the first two to be in the finals for this. So maybe they had a nod to it there. I was surprised how much I really didn't care for that Liv Morgan EO match.
Yeah, it's like I thought there would be more to that match. I thought there would be shenanigans, but nope, she lost clean as a sheet. That surprised me. Hopefully things will look around for EO in the coming year. My personal hope is that I hope she's on the short list to win the Rumble, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have her and Rhea holding the world title and looking at each other for nothing. Mm-mm. Just like remember HBK did the same thing with Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. Like that's like, this is the future.
Right. No.
I think I would love Rhea versus Io for the title at Mania. I think that would be a banger match. And that would be because Io's gotten to do a bunch of stuff already. She's already been women's champion. She's won Money in the Bank.
Tag titles.
Might as well, now that she's got Money in the Bank, might as well add a Royal Rumble win to her resume.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm looking back at 2024. I know we're not doing like a year end like review or anything, but looking back at 2024, the two that, as far as the male and females that stuck out with me, that did try to do everything they possibly could dealing with the circumstances, is Liv and McIntyre. Because Rhea was always injured and stuff, so Liv had to keep carrying.
Like unquestionably MVP,
right? And then I guess my light went out. And then Drew, I mean, he had to basically like, well, CM Punk's hurt, and then he just took it and ran with it. I think those two are just my did so much with nothing of this 2024. So I do have to tip my cap to Liv. I just don't like the fact that she's just been basically getting beat the crap out of every show by Rhea. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
There we go.
Have her sit there and she sits there and talks crap to Rhea, and then Rhea beats her up. And then she comes out the next week, talks crap to Rhea, and then Rhea beats her up. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Let's move on. Let's move forward in the storyline.
Right now, speaking of Judgment Day, hey, Gunther's in a match.
Nobody came out to help Finn in the triple threat match.
Nope,
nobody.
And they talked about it on Raw. But anyway, but I just like it. Gunther's in a match. Guess what? The match is good. There you go.
I thought the triple threat was great. I thought I thought it was the best match. It's like it's either that or Drew Sammy. I thought was the best match on the show quality wise, but man, it's like props to Gunther. It's like he almost lost David Priest, but I was like, "Argh!" And then still was able to properly powerbomb him onto the steps.
Yeah, that was a really good spot.
Yeah.
And then for the main event with Cody and Kevin, the only reason it was a really good match, and I was surprised that that Cody, which I'm thinking using for storyline wise, but you're a baby face and you're using a chair to beat your opponent.
He said he'd do whatever it takes.
Yep, I guess. But
I love Jesse calling him out for using the chair to cheat to win. I thought it's like that's what Jesse would do. So yeah, Jesse's commentary added so much fun to the match. I'm really glad that he's back and that he's going to be back for the other Saturday Night's Main Event shows because he's still got it. So that it was perfect use where they had him do a little bit of stuff and then like with JR they're doing in AEW, just have him come out for the main event. That's all you need.
Right. And that's the last thing before we move on.
You can tell he's having fun too. It's like I can tell.
Yeah, and then he did the whole Jake the Snake Skin jacket.
Yeah, he just said that he made it out of Damien. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. And so, are they trying to do this once a year? Like, what is the future for Saturday Night's Main Event?
4 times a year.
Okay.
Four Saturday Night's Main Event a year. So they're already going to do the first one of 2025 is plugged in in Texas for January, and that's going to be the week before the Rumble. So we're building toward the big card for the Raw debut on Netflix. And then after that is a Saturday Night's Main Event. And then right after Saturday Night's Main Event is Rumble.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to Raw. But it was, like I said, it was fine.
Yeah,
it was cool. It hit all the as they say in South Park, all the member berries for you.
Letting KO bust out the package pile driver again is dope.
Yeah. And then him standing on top of Cody with the belt with him on the stretcher, that was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
great with stuff. That. So all right, let's move on to Raw. But as far as a person who didn't grow up watching Saturday Night's Main Event, I saw all the little. It was a good show,
but I wish that there was less commercials and more match time.
More match time.
I think next time, with the amount of commercials got to deal with, maybe only do 4 matches so that way that give those matches a little bit of breathing room. Because 5 they really had to shorten the match times to get all 5 matches in on the show. So in a 2-hour time slot with a hard out at 10.
Gotcha. All righty.
Okay, to recap what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Show opened with CM Punk cutting a promo on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came in through the crowd to respond. They threw shots at each other, and eventually they got into a brawl that was all over the place, and Adam Pearce and officials had to keep them separated. And Adam Pearce later announced that it was official. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk will take place on Raw on January 6th on the Netflix debut. After Seth wanted the match to happen earlier after the brawl, Drew McIntyre came up and seemed to want to form an alliance since they have a thing in common about Roman Reigns. But Seth says they don't have any common. Because even though Jay and Sammy have been helping out Roman, they're still his friends, and he's not going to turn his back on them. And he says the jury's still out of McIntyre. And then took a jab at him saying he was going to do what Drew couldn't do, take Punk out. Then we had an Intercontinental title match, Braun Breaker defending against Louis Kaiser. Good match here. Braun picked up the victory with the spear. Rey Mysterio informed New Day that they're not welcome in the locker room after what they did to turning on Big E. They recap what happened after the show went off the air with Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes, hitting with a package pile driver and absconding with the Wing Eagle title belt. They said that he had suffered some injuries. X-rays are negative, but they don't know when Cody will be back. Adam Pearce made CM Punk vs. Seth Rollins official for the Netflix show debut. Liv, Dom, and Raquel came out for a chat. Ray confronted her, saying that she was now officially the number one contender thanks to Adam Pearce. And eventually it was announced that those who would be facing off for the title also on the January 6th Raw debuting on Netflix. Miz tried to weasel his way out of hanging out with the Final Testament, but Cross told him his association with him is over and he says it's over, and that next week he's going to be facing Dexter Lumis one-on-one. Then we had the next opening round match in the Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament. Zoe Stark versus Kate Carter versus Raquel Rodriguez. Zoe Stark picked up the victory with her finisher. Move on to the next round and face Dakota in the semifinals. Jake Gable got into it with Alchemy again and challenged Akira Tozawa to a match next week. A weird promo was shown of a red circle with a slash through it against a black background. Could that be the sign that Penta is coming to WWE? We'll see. In the back, it showed that Pure Fusion Collective had attacked Kairi Sane. Damage Control came in and chased them off. Then we had the main event. World Tag Team titles were on the line as Judgment Day defended against the War Raiders in a rematch. Things broke down, and Finn Balor tried to get a chair to use to cheat and attack War Raiders while the ref was distracted, but Damian Priest appeared and stopped him, and that led to War Machine hitting him with their finisher to pin him, pick up the victory, and become the new World Tag Team Champions. First time War Raiders have been champions in years. Congrats to them. And they celebrated as showing off the air. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
Is that Penta?
I think that teaser's it's a circle, zero fear.
Zero. For those who don't know who Penta is, he literally his whole shtick is zero. Nero, which means
his catchphrase is zero fear.
Yeah, zero fear. And so zero, and then I'm guessing that that's the only thing I can think of.
I know you want him to go heel, but he's not going to be going heel anytime soon. Seth's going to be the heel in this feud.
Yeah,
the fans love Punk too much right now. They're not going to have him be the heel right now. I mean, eventually he'll probably do a heel run, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
I'm just glad we're getting Seth not in random flamboyant stuff. We just got Seth just being. All right, I'm pissed off. I'm going to beat the crap out of Seth.
Because here's the thing: what Seth is saying isn't wrong about him. Leave it as but the fans don't care.
No,
they're just happy that Punk's back, and that's all that matters to them.
Yeah, but I thought the segment was really good. I like how they sprinted around each other into the crowd and they kept attacking each other. I thought that was pretty cool. So I thought the segment was really good. And Seth didn't, because even CM Punk's like, you're going to play that stupid music that everyone sings to and does that stupid laugh. And then Seth's up in the crowd like he's did in his old school Shield days.
That was great. The whole brawl was great, setting up their match for January 6th, Netflix debut. I already saw people like, what do you mean they're throwing that away on free TV? I thought it was going to be. Doesn't just because they're going to do it on Netflix doesn't mean it's going to happen. Not going to happen at Mania again. It's like
no,
they want to load this show up. They want the star power.
Yeah, and it really and truly, it's so the WrestleMania. This is probably the trickiest.
Now, if they are the main event, like Cole said, that means something major and a major angle is going to happen off this match.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, with Drew McIntyre coming to Seth and Seth, I liked how and Seth even said,
I like that, and I love how Seth is like, well, here's the problem. Sammy and Jay are still my friends.
Right.
You're not.
Yeah. And then was Drew McIntyre making a beeline to attack Seth Rollins? We'll never know. That's what CM Punk said. I just want to talk to him.
Yeah, I remember. I just want to talk to him.
I just want to talk to him. And then what we alluded to with the Judgment Day, obviously, Triple H loves to do, and HBK, I think they just love to do
that real soon.
Yeah.
Nobody else came out to help during the tag title match, and Damian made sure that they lost tag titles. He's he's not going to be part of Judgment Day for much longer. It's building toward that.
Yeah.
It's, the way that Liv and Dom are acting, like they're plotting shit.
Yeah.
I think they're tired of Finn.
But are we still going to see? Because I know they were talking about having a big push for Finn. So where's that push coming? Who is it going to be against, and what are we doing?
Well, maybe they engineer it that Finn gets traded to SmackDown.
It's true. It could be.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, but I mean, it just, I don't know. I just want the Damian, Balor, Rhea, Judgment Day stuff.
Well, here's my question, because Drew's made it clear he's on a revenge tour against the original Bloodline. What's he going to do during Tribal Combat?
Oh, no, that's exactly what's going to happen. Drew's going to screw someone over.
My
get involved.
Would be Roman.
Yeah, I would think it'd be Roman.
Because it would make more sense for him to beat Roman, because then he would deny Roman something important and rob him of something, like he was robbed of winning the championship. So he's going to rob him of the Ula Fala and being tribal chief, which means something to him. That would be the perfect revenge for Drew to do that, to prevent him from winning the Ula Fala back.
Yeah, that, or he comes out at
Tribal Combat. They made it clear Tribal Combat is like Bloodline rules, no rules.
Yeah.
So
you would expect Drew to come out, cause shenanigans, but then you also have Tama and Jacob, and then you're going to have Jay and Sammy.
Jamie and Say are going to try to help Roman if Jacob and Tama Tonga rear their heads, which they probably will, because anything goes. There's no rules for Tribal Combat, just like Bloodline rules. Yeah. So that match is going to be full of shenanigans.
I love the storytelling in the Braun Ludwig Kaiser match with his shoulder.
Yes, great selling by Braun with the shoulder. He's so over right now. He's gonna be a world champion sometime in 2025.
Yeah.
Mark it down.
The New Day stuff just gets
it's like, no, you're not. It's like nobody wants you in here.
Yep. Karrion Kross is still on a heater.
Yep.
With Miz is like, okay, you don't need me now, right? He attacked.
He's got to learn what there's consequences to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, make a deal with the devil. I'm just like that.
Yeah. No, Karrion Kross is killing it right now.
Yeah. And then, yes, obviously the New Day with them and Ray, and they're just like, okay, whatever. And then they were outside talking crap to the crowd. I know that was I think that wasn't on the show, but it was, they were outside. So the New Days, I mean, that's the thing, is like, they're highlighting multiple storylines. All storylines are fun to watch. So you have an actual show start to finish that is fun. Yes, some stuff there's still ups and downs, but it's just so great to see.
Low lights was the triple threat women's match and the women's intercontinental tournament. That was kind of a mad match. Yeah. And plus, Zoe Stark really botched her finisher on poor Kaden Carter. It looked like she barely hit her.
Yeah, Zoe, and the thing is Zoe's just so cardboard as a personality, but she's pretty decent in the ring. I mean, she was great in Money in the Bank. Obviously, she botched that part, but typically she's pretty solid in the ring. Yeah. It's just her personality is cardboard. It just is, and it sucks because you can see how much talent she has in the ring, so you're gonna use her. But when she's Zoe, when do you say, I'm going to beat her? Thank you, Zoe. And like Shayna at least has some personality.
Dakota. Now, here's the thing.
I think
Dakota got attacked.
I think Dakota did it.
You think Dakota did it?
Yeah, because either they screwed it up, how they shot it, or they were showing it for a reason.
Because if Fusion Collective did it.
Well, if you slow it, if you see when the camera runs over, it accidentally with them running, it slightly shows Dakota just standing there to the side. I think that was a production error for them. Like that way they were running in, so they were just standing there. Maybe and so the camera accidentally caught her, or maybe
I saw some people speculating that maybe Dakota did it.
Yeah, I mean, because she hasn't really been around Damage Control since that promo, the vignette that they did, and
as soon as that happened, I was like, I guess they're going to insert Io into her place. And mild spoiler alert, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I think you can guess what happened with that match result. And I'm not going to say what. Which makes things interesting for the next round. I still think it's going to be Lyra and Dakota in the finals. Because I feel like those are the two that they really want to really build up with this tournament. Those two.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you saw it with, again, it wouldn't be an outside shot that Natalya wins it. Like I said, like the honorary Oscar type thing, like just kind of giving, and then she loses it like 2 weeks later, kind of like a Zack Ryder after when he won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. It's like, all right, you got your WrestleMania moment, and now you're going to lose it 2 seconds later to The Miz the next night. They might do that. I don't, but who knows? I mean, I would sit there and say that they won't do that. They'll give him a title run, but I mean, Motor City Machine Guns title run lasted for like 28 days. DIY's first title run lasted for 40. So they might do that with Natalya just so she can be the inaugural one and not give her a run, because it looks like they're trying to highlight future stars, and Chelsea and Michin are the two that they want to highlight for the United States, and they're going to highlight Lyra and Dakota for this one. So it just makes more sense for those two to in the finals for the inaugural Intercontinental. Is my theory. Is that where your kind of head's at too?
Yeah, I think it's built into that. I don't know which one is going to win. It's kind of leaning more toward maybe Lyra, but we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. Man, I'm just happy for.
Lastly, War Raider. Happy for the War Raiders. Those guys have gone through a lot of shit last couple years with injuries. This is the first time they've had tag team gold in 5 years.
Been a second. And
they're tag team champions.
It's been 4 years for Street Profits. So come on. If you gave it to War Raiders, come on.
I'm happy for them. It's well earned. This is good for the tag division.
And I'm just glad that we've got over that stupid gimmick of the Viking experience and finally just let them be.
I'm glad that they're back to being the War Raiders like they were back when I first saw them in NXT before they got called up. They're
War Raider. They're the War Raiders. They still have some Viking like stuff in their gear, but they're not like, to Valhalla and like just that cheesy 19. We're past that.
Yep.
So I wonder who called them the Viking experience. I don't know. But all I know is, I like Vikings. Let's call them Viking experience, pal. That was dumb. All right. But no, I thought Raw, like you said, a couple of lowlights, but mainly like they highlighted multiple stories. They were able to push stuff forward. But I'm just, and you knew that they were, and they taped, and you said they taped 2 shows at this one, right? Justin, you said they taped 2 Raws.
They taped this coming Raw. I don't know if they taped another Raw yet. I know that tomorrow they taped tomorrow night's SmackDown was taped last week. They already taped next week's NXT and next week's Raw. They're taping another NXT tonight, but I think after Christmas next week, both Raw and SmackDown will be live. The only one that will still be taped would be NXT.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. But yeah, no, I thought the show was fun.
That was a fun show.
It's interesting to see what the tape stuff has. And happy to the War. Shout out to the War Raiders. I mean, what they said isn't a lie either. Like they went through some heavy injuries to get back to where they were. So let's move on to AEW and my favorite match in a while. Darby and Ospreay was just oh my god! I was like,
banger alert!
Oh my god, Darby, don't die, please!
Please don't die.
That coffin drop. All right, here, let's just get into it.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. We open with TBS title match, Mercedes Moné defending against Anna Jay. Anna Jay put a good fight. It was a good match, but Mercedes Moné hit her with the money maker to retain the title, pick up the victory. Death Riders assaulting FTR on Collision was shown. FTR cut a pre-taped promo. saying that they'd be back on the January 1st show, Fight for the Fallen, to challenge the Death Riders, and said they wouldn't be coming alone. Maybe their buddy Adam Copeland will be showing up since they're going to be in their hometown of Asheville, North Carolina. We'll see. MJF came out to cut a promo, Adam Cole, ahead of their match over the Dynamite Dynamite ring at World's End. Adam Cole appeared up on the Tron to respond, but it was revealed that it was a pre-taped and not live, and he appeared in the ring while MJF was distracted to attack him and brawled, but MJF escaped. Jamie Hayter cut a promo in the back, challenging Julia Hart to a match at Fight for the Fallen in 2 weeks after she got attacked last week. Then we had the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, and Nick Wayne taking on Katsuyori Shibata and Hook. Thanks to some distractions, Christian was able to hit the kill switch to Shibata, allowing Nick Wayne to pin him and pick up the victory. More hype of Bandito's return. Jericho cut a promo relating to his title match, RH title match against Matt Cardona coming up. Brian May responded and accepted Thunder Rosa's challenge for a Team 1 street fight at World's End pay-per-view. Ricochet was out for a chat, acting kind of heelish. Hertzig came out and roughed him up, and MVP tore up the business card, making it clear that they're not interested in working with him. MVP said no one likes an ass kisser. Then we had a Continental Classic Blue League match. Shelton Benjamin taking on Beast Mortos. Shelton Benjamin picked up the victory. Afterwards, the rest of the Hurt Syndicate came out and continued to beat up Mortos. Daniel Garcia and Mark Briscoe tried to go out to help him, but they got beaten down as well. Ricochet promised he'd be ready for Ospreay, but ran a foul Swerve in the back, and Swerve and him exchanged words. RJ said he was shown having a sit-down interview with Toni Storm, who acted like she's never been to AEW before, despite everything that's happened. Is this amnesia, or is she acting? We'll find out. Then we had Continental Classic Gold League match, Will Ospreay against Darby Allin. This was match of the night, an absolute banger. Darby Allin picked up a surprise victory with the coffin drop to earn another 3 points in the Gold League. With him, Claudio, Ospreay, and Ricochet all tied at 6. Then we had the main event, 6-man tag, Death Riders, Moxley, Claudio, and Yuta taking on Jay White, Hangman Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy. Babyfaces, of course, had issues working together. And at one point, while Hangman and Jay White were arguing, Moxley was able to do a surprise rope on Cassidy to pin him and win the match for the heels. The three of them continued to argue until the Death Riders tried to attack them, and they fought back and kind of stood tall to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
All right. What do you want to start with?
I have to say, it's one of the better episodes they've had in a while. Number one, they finally went on a good-sized venue for the crowds that they're doing, because it felt like the place was full and the crowd was hot, which I haven't seen in a while.
We've been saying that forever, and I think there was like 3,000. They like basically the smaller venue with like
3,000. Yeah, it was only a couple thousand there, so that made the show look and feel better, especially the crowd was really into the show. A lot of great matches, especially Ospreay and Darby just going out and trying to destroy each other. Holy crap. That match was a banger. God, Darby, I tell you.
That coffin drop to the end. I was like, what? Oh, don't do that.
Then the Styles clash off the apron to the floor.
Right.
Hell of a finish, though.
Oh, yeah.
But, heck, even the opening match.
Mercedes and Anna, they gave him some time, and they did work. I liked it.
Yeah, knew AJ wasn't going to win, but at least she got to look good. It definitely feels like they're building toward Statlander getting another shot and hopefully maybe beating her, because I'm kind of getting tired of her holding the title. The Tony Storm stuff is very interesting. It's like I
Her
said,
just like she doesn't remember any of that.
he's acting like she just arrived.
Right.
So either she like had a psychotic break and she's having amnesia, or it's Timeless Tony pulling off a great performance to fuck with Mariah and lull her into a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. It could go either way.
Yeah. I am loving, I know we get on AEW a lot for how they
Really,
just book all over the place. Like one day,
Mhm.
it's like week to week. One thing makes sense, and then you and then you swerve it, and it gives us PTSD of the 2019 McMahon stuff, where they would set all this stuff up, and then next week it would act like they didn't happen or something like that. It was just all over the place as far as storytelling is concerned. That being said, how they're booking the Hurt Syndicate, and especially Shelton Benjamin, has been solid since they've come.
Really, and they're over. You can tell that they're over. So that's so it's working.
Yes, and this is the best I've seen Shelton look.
Yep.
As far as a presentation and how
great.
he is. Yeah, and hey, I know we've got with the Beast Mortis is great, but and I know Commander and all that they were getting crap.
Yeah, they're basically the jobbers for this tournament right now.
Yeah, but the Continental Classic just they really struck something with that continent with this thing.
No, it's providing some good stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, one of my negatives on this show goes back to that segment with the Hurt Syndicate Ricochet. Could they make Ricochet look more like a fucking loser than they did in this episode?
So bad. I didn't like that at all. They just made him like, I can't be a part of you guys. Oh, yeah.
And then they fucking make him look like a bitch, and then like Swerve just like eviscerates him backstage.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
And if they're trying to turn him heel, it doesn't. It's like it's not working on the mic, man.
No, we've always said Ricochet's
came off looking like a fucking loser.
Yeah, it's his mic skills are just.
I don't know what they're going. I don't know where this is leading, but that was not good. I'm sorry.
His mic skills are just not good.
No.
It's not. And like at least in Mercedes, we've realized that her mic skills are not the greatest, but she still has. At least they're still booking her strong. Whereas Ricochet, this is what we were fearing when Ricochet went to AEW. We're like,
Gift shared someone saying this on Twitter that he found. Lucha Underground signed Ricochet and went, let's not have him speak and stick a mask on his stupid head. And it was probably the biggest form of hide the negatives in wrestling history.
Yeah, because he's not a good talker. I wish he was. Trust me.
He was.
I think I get excited watching every single one of his matches, and I think he's definitely a top tier in-ring worker. But man, when he starts talking, I forget about it.
Yeah, it's like might as well go to sleep.
Yeah. And yeah, especially if you want to realize like the situation of where Ricochet is as a talker compared to some other ones. I mean, look at what Swerve did to him in 2 seconds. Just eviscerating him, and I'm like,
oh yeah, like Swerve just wrecked him. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It just I don't know what
Trevor.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I can't wait to go back. I've gone back and just watched some of the segments in that Ospreay Darby match. I mean, this thing. We always say it too is. Most of the time, the in-ring stuff that you get from AEW is awesome. And if you compare it to WWE's like shows, their in-ring work is better than WWE's most of the time as far as show-to-show basis. It's the storytelling that's just not good. So it's like, yes, it is an alternative to really good in-ring work and not that great storytelling. Whereas WWE is solid in-ring work, not as good as AEW's, but also on top of really good storytelling. That's the issue. That's like AEW is just not there yet with. It's just their booking storytelling is okay to god awful, and it's never been. Oh man, that was great. That was really good storytelling. We had that with Hangman and Kenny Omega back when they first started because I think Cody had a lot to do with this is story and Tony. I don't know. I don't know. We will know eventually, like 10 years from now. But we won't know. But I just. Had a lot to do with it.
Now, I said earlier that the crowd was really hot for the show, and they were, except for one segment where they just did not give a fuck. My boy and MJF. That outside of MJF's heel antics, no reaction. No, not even when Cole came out to attack him.
Yeah,
That tells you all you need to know about how they've completely fumbled this whole feud.
yeah,
And it pisses me off.
yeah. Because it's MJF and Adam
This
Cole.
guy and MJF both deserve better than this.
Yes, they're way too good. Way too good. And I don't know.
Doesn't give a fuck because
don't.
their roles are the opposite of what they should be.
Yes, they should. And again, that's what we talk about. Just switching it for no reason of what's going on. Like it doesn't make sense.
I know the stupid Diamond Iron Ring. That like nobody gives a fuck about that. That's not a real title.
No. Who do you think? Do you think Mox is going to retain?
Probably.
Okay. A trios match was fun though. I mean,
it was.
They know how to do trios matches, so I will say that.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we can.
You know what's sad? This is this pay-per-view World's End. It's the day before my birthday on the 28th, and I'm not really excited for it. I'm probably not. I'm probably going to catch parts of it, but I'm not going to pay for it. I don't. It's like it. I don't feel like dropping $50 for this show right now. It's like.
I think they realized that, and so that's why they're like, "Oh, Kenny Omega's going to be back." Like, okay.
Yeah, but why? Yeah, but it's like again, like I said, and a lot of people said, "Well, I go." Kenny's first match back is for New Japan and not AEW. He's returning to the ring there first and not AEW. And then he interviewed by Sean Ross Sapp. It's like, oh yeah, AEW is fine, doesn't need me.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That's like I'm like, wow, Kenny, that was such a bold-faced lie. It's like I know I hate to say something like that about somebody, but it's like no, things are not fine, and they do need you.
They need you. You're Kenny F and Omega. You're a needle mover, dog. They need you.
The Young Bucks are doing New Japan stuff right now.
Yeah, they're like them and Jack Perry are like getting into it in New Japan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
don't. Do we have to do NXT? Do we?
Yes, but one final thing. Despite some minor issues, this was actually one of the better Dynamites we've had.
No, it was. I enjoyed it. It's just us just venting of how you have. They're just. It feels like they're right there, but they're just. That's what's frustrating.
Yeah,
it's because they give us a
stay in the smaller venues like this one, and
yes,
and it's like that's a good start.
Yes, it's a good start.
We have to talk about NXT.
I don't want to.
But she wasn't even on the show this week. She got.
That's why I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, that's an excuse. Come on.
We're just getting closer to the end, and I don't like it.
I know you're scared. You're scared that she's going to lose.
Don't Triple H. Better not screw it up. Oh, by the way, speaking about that, in relation. Michael Cole did say, and his wife, AJ Lee, at the press conference, they're flirting with it. They're flirting with my emotions, and I don't like it. Don't do this to me because I want that Roxanne AJ Lee match so gosh damn yesterday.
What if Punk brings AJ Lee back to try to talk sense into Roxanne?
All right, don't even put that in my. Don't. You're giving me too much. I'm like Hawkeye at this point in Endgame. Don't give me hope. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, here's NXT.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT is the build toward New Year's Evil on continues. Opening match was Oba Femi versus Axiom. Axiom tried to put in the effort, but Oba Femi picked up the victory. Eddie Thorpe was ready for his title match in the main event. Karen Petrovic and Ashante Dance got into more drama in the back. Then we had a women's tag match. Zarya and Sol Ruka team up against a Meta-4, Lash Legend, Shakira Jackson. Despite the efforts of Zarya and Sol Ruka, but at 4 picked up the victory with Lash Legend pinning Sol Ruka. Tariq and Tyson DuPont were disagreeing about what happened last week. Wesley came in to agree with Eway not being happy that they lost. Kind of further tease a heel turn. Then we had Jada Parker taking on Ren Sinclair. OTM and No Credit Catch were at ringside, but the two teams brawled out to the back. And after they left, Jada Parker beat Ren Sinclair to pick up the victory. Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley were shown hanging out in the back playing with her Tatum's dolls. Tatum was happy that she finally found some friends, and Gigi said that now they need to concentrate on taking care of Fatal Influence and vowed to take down the heel faction. Fatal Influence responded, saying that they're going to take care of them first. But Alba Fire Dizzle Dawn showed up to mock their team chemistry, challenged them to a match next week. A video package was showing the history of the NXT Women's Championship from its beginnings up until now, covering a lot of the great wrestlers who won the championship, went on to greatness, the Horsewomen, Asuka, Shayna, Rhea, Mandy Rose, Lyra, Tiffany Stratton, and of course Roxanne Perez, hyping up the title match against Julia at New Year's Eve in 2 weeks. Then Fraxium defended the NXT Tag Team titles against Gallus, despite both Axiom being beat up a little bit by Obafemi earlier. They were able to pick up the victory and retain the titles once again. Javon praised Tank and Tank, said promised that he's going to be more like himself this year. Alexis King did a workout with Charlie Dempsey, and Charlie agreed to give King another shot at the Heritage Cup next week. Ethan Page came out cutting a promo, basically seeming that maybe everything was gone right, maybe teasing a babyface turn or something, and even used the I lost my smile, so nod to HBK because they were in the same building in Massachusetts where HBK gave the famous I've lost my smile speech. Javon Evans came out, tried to cheer Page up, saying encouraging him not to give up, but Ethan Page revealed that it was a swerve. He attacked Javon and Pillmanized his neck and caused Javon to spit out blood all over the place, acting like his jaw had been busted or something, to show that he's still going to be a heel. Stephanie McCurry cut a pre-tape promo on Cora Jade, vowing to take her straight to hell when they go one-on-one next week. Then we had the main event NXT title match, Trick Williams against Eddie Thorpe. There was chaos at the end and a ref bump and more than one ref, and it ended up with a double pin with both men's shoulders down. And everyone was confused as show off the show here. But they revealed footage of the Ava declaring that since it was a draw, Trick was still champion. Eddie didn't appreciate that and shoved Shawn Michaels and got into it with officials and Trick. And Eddie and Trick got into a brawl that had to be separated. So controversy to close out this week's episode of NXT.
All right, let me start off with this.
Go for it.
I know if people follow us on the show, and thank you so much for doing it. So you stumble upon us, you watch our past episodes. One of the critiques they might say is, dang, they just don't talk. They don't shut up about the NXT women's division. They always harp about the women's NXT women's division. And you want to know why?
Yeah.
You want to know why we talk about it? This segment right here. This part right here. This is why we don't shut up about the NXT women's division.
Out of desperation.
Well, I don't know about desperation, but what the heck is Zarya and Soul thinking in this moment?
What the?
And it doesn't start there. It doesn't stop there.
Look to be on the same page now, book. Incoming!
Oh, baby.
You see, and that works because Soul was holding her in place.
Right.
Rolling.
What the?
That's why we don't shut up about the NXT women's division. Right. That's because they're doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, we grew up with the Divas era. They were just there to look hot and go out there for 2 seconds and not do anything. This is why we don't shove about them. And I mean, I'm just like, and Zarya just got there, and her and Soul already had that chemistry because this match was awesome.
It was fun.
Anyway, that's the 2 seconds I want to talk about there. Stephanie and Cora, yes, all day.
That's gonna be a fun match next week.
All right.
Love the promo that Stephanie cut on her.
Mm-hmm. Yep, love that. Oba, dude, Oba's just something, dude. I want to see Oba and Gunther so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I know
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Wesley got hurt, didn't he?
Yes, that's why he wasn't wrestling this week. That's why he was only backstage.
Yeah.
Apparently, he had. It doesn't sound like it's too bad, but he got banged up doing a match on main event.
Okay. Jada's so over right now.
Yeah. Jada's come such a long way. She's gotten really good. I don't see the NXT Women's title in her future at the moment, but she'd be a good candidate to win the Women's North American title in the coming year. I think that would be a good choice.
She's never going to get the NXT Women's Championship. No one is ever going to get the NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be same for us forever.
She's not going to be like Athena. She's not going to be forever champion.
Why not?
Because that's not how it's going to work.
I don't like your facts and logic. Okay,
I don't.
Dude,
look, you know I love Roxanne. I don't. It's like she's had a great run, but it's like
no, it's time. It's time for Julia to take the mantle. It is.
It is. It's like because they're hyping this match up as like a big moment, and they're not going to do that if she's just going to lose again. No, it's about this New Year's Evil. They're building up to be a shift going into 2025, and it's like that the big shift will be in the women's division is Julia taking the title, and then oh man, all the combinations we're going to get off of that. Oh mama Jane.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Roxanne has had a great run as champion, and as we've talked about all year, she would have already been on the main roster if it wasn't for Cora going down with injury, and they needed the women's division to have a stable what's the right word? Stable hand at the top. And they gave it to Roxanne. They gave the ball to Roxanne, and she ran with it.
Oh yeah, and like we said off air before we went live, ladies and gentlemen, when we were talking about it, because I don't like where it's going, and I'm in my 5 stages of grief, knowing what's going to happen. Okay, so
and we haven't even got to the match yet.
We haven't got to the match yet. And I'm already going through 5 stages of grief because I can just see. I watched wrestling too long to know what's going to happen. But it's the fact of when she first went, when she got the NXT, they had to pivot. Go with Roxanne. Roxanne becomes heel, which would surprise everyone. And when she started her heel run, her promo work was very it was suspect. But then you can tell hard work pays off because she was going to put on banger matches, and every match she was in was a freaking banger. The only one that I've ever been mad about was the Kiana steel cage match. It's the only one I'm like, that was not good.
That was from late last year. That was like a weak one for some reason.
But like her as far as her title run is concerned, every match has been awesome. And the Thea Hale one is like, look at what her Thea Hale did.
That one, I have a hard time picking what my favorite one is. It'd have to be
Jordan Grace one was really good.
It'd have to be either like the Thea Hale one or the one against Jordan Grace at Battleground.
Yeah, Julia, it was good, but it wasn't as good as.
Well, it didn't get that much time either. I think hopefully they're going to give him much more time for the rematch.
Jordan Grace, the Jordan Grace and Thea Hales were definitely the two that stuck out to me. But her heel work has gotten so much better when it started out so that you could just tell she's trying to get her footing in on being a heel. And guess what? She's a baller at it. Now she can go and so now you can do both. And that is a complete superstar. Yep. I know I have a lot of bias, and I've obviously been a huge fan of her because this is what I saw. And
I've always liked Roxanne ever since she came to NXT, but this past year with her heel run and at the heel turn, making the heel turn successful, and the run as NXT champion the second time around, she's knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a very, very happy and excited for her. She's one of the only. It's a short list of women who've held the NXT Women's Championship more than once. It's like there's not many of them. And she's on that list.
No. Yeah, and PWI still doesn't give her credit. Number 11. She's the best women's champion this year. In any company. Any promotion.
Absolutely.
I know Jordan Grace. Guess what? She beat Jordan Grace. That's why I'm giving her
the only one I'd say would came close would be Timeless Tony's title run for the majority of this year.
Yeah, but she was great, but her opponents never.
Yeah, whereas Roxanne had really great opponents to work with.
Right. So that's the only thing. It's nothing against Tony.
Right.
Because she was carrying that division.
Yeah.
So was Roxanne.
Yeah.
But Roxanne at least had solid opponents.
Roxanne was carrying the division until Julia, Stephanie McCurry, and Zarya finally came into the picture. It's like, I mean, and not saying that the NXT Women's Division didn't have talent before those three showed up, because we've been watching Jada Parker and Sol Ruka, and Thea Hale, Ren Sinclair, Lola Vice, have all really grown this past year, in both in and outside the ring. But then the trifecta of bringing in Julia, Stephanie, and Zarya is just like, it's like there was already like Macho Man used to say, the cream of the crop rises to the top. It's like,
I love that promo.
It was already at the top, and then it went up to another level with those three. And
cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's
it's good times.
It is. It's good times. I know it's, but it's gonna be okay, Josh, because it's like she's gonna go to the main roster and she's gonna kick ass. Because
she can do it with the NXT Championship.
Because I trust Triple H is going to do right by her.
Oh yeah, I don't see how you can screw that up. That's too much of a talent to screw.
If Vince was in charge, I'd be worried because of how.
Oh yeah, I would just say just stick in NXT. Just don't go anywhere. Just stick in NXT. You're fine. But no, I'm excited for what Triple H does with her and where.
So I'm excited for the possibilities of Julia's champion, because Julia versus Stephanie McCurry stand and deliver for the title. It's like cha-ching.
Yeah, and plus, it's Cora. This is really going to help Cora as well, because her in ring as good of a superstar as I think
now
she
Cora
is,
could be a really good top heel foil in the title picture.
Right, and plus because if you're comparing to me, Cora still has a little bit to go in.
And they're giving her stuff now where it's not just like yes, for the majority since she came back this time, she's been the sidekicking with Roxanne. Now they're giving her feuds like the stuff with going on with Stephanie, and I already seen the spoilers, but she's got other people gunning for her, as that's all I'll say. So it's like, so Cora's making enemies, and so therefore that means that she's got stuff going on.
And I'm excited to see the progression for Fallon Henley, because I like what she's doing.
Yeah, like I said, Shotzi paired with both Tana Paxley and Gigi Dolan, that's a good trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice counterbalance to Fatal Influence. So that's going to be a very interesting feud with those three against Fatal Influence. I figured this is leading toward Gigi getting a shot at Fallon Henley for the Women's North American title.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a heck of a match. So I'm excited for that. Okay. I'll go over some negatives here quick. We all talk about, and a lot of people, it's a cliche, but it's true that, pro wrestling is like a male soap opera. This storyline with Ashante Karmavetric is not soap opera. It's like 90s teen comedy show level. Like it's like, it's
so cringe, dude.
So cringe and dumb. I was giving it a chance, but this week with what happened, I was just like,
I mean,
oh no, we're going down.
Boy Meets World did have an episode with Vader. I'm just saying. So
right,
If you really want to kind of compare what that kind of storyline is.
It's a mess.
Shout out to Boy Meets World though. That show was amazing. But that's kind of like that what you were alluding to. It's like a Boy Meets World with a wrestling ring type of storyline.
I wouldn't consider it negative, but I was surprised. It was an interesting choice to have Metaphor beat Zarya and Sol Ruka, especially after coming out of the Iron Survivor match with those two. But I would chalk it up as Metaphor's got more of experience as a team, therefore they have an edge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't know if this is leading somewhere. Maybe they might do it like that. Sol Ruka and Zarya's like, hey, we can beat those guys. Maybe. So who knows? We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know if it's a one and done or something, but it was still fun. They might be setting up Tyson and the other guy there, maybe pairing with Wesley or something because of the way he's like that Chad in the back. I was like, okay. We'll put a pin on that. I have a feeling and this was even before I even saw this after with what they're doing with Lexus King and him getting another shot at the Heritage Cup, I think he's winning the Heritage Cup. I think they're gonna. They
need to give him something because he's done his job. I will put it that way. Now you were talking about those things. A couple things I want to get to. I like that segment with Ethan Page and Javon Evans. I thought.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Was one of the best things on the show. I love how he used the "I lost my smile"
and then destroyed Javon Evans' smile.
Yeah. Yes, that was brilliant because they referenced at the beginning of the show about some big moments in WWE that happened at that venue. The biggest one being the legendary "I lost my smile" speech from HBK, which I love HBK, but he was full of motherfucking shit when he was that "lost my smile" bullshit. He did not want a job to Brett.
No, just for y'all for people who don't know wrestling history, there's three title reigns that are full of shit, or at least how they were like pushing their power around. Number one was Hulk Hogan in that WrestleMania where he comes out in 2 seconds. It's like, oh no, Brett, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go beat Yokozuna. And you're leaving the company, bro. But he just couldn't have it. That doesn't work for me, brother. Shawn Michaels in that era of just going over everyone, and he never would do the job. He always either had was in Vince's ear, had a shenanigan, lost his smile. That way he didn't have to drop a title to anyone. Because
this is off after he beat Brett at WrestleMania 12 for the title and he had the run. He lost it to Sid. He got it back at the Rumble in 97. But then in February, all of a sudden he's like, I lost my smile and I need to. It was because he didn't want a job to Brett return the favor at WrestleMania.
Right. He didn't want to do that.
So
then
he came up with a bullshit reason that he was hurt.
And then the other one is Triple H.
I love Shawn. He's one of my favorite guys all the time, but that was a real dick move he pulled.
That was a dick move.
It's very the lost my smile speech is very because it's like he seemed like so sincere, but when you find out later what was really going on behind the scenes, you're like, wow, he was full of shit.
Yeah. But to quote Rocky, if I can change, you can change, and he did.
He did. He got better.
I'm like, but he recognizes how much of it. And the third one, I will say this before we move on. The third one that reminds me of just someone just pushing the weight around and holding the title way longer than they should have, or just was Triple H's reign of terror.
Oh yeah,
Goldberg should have won that Elimination Chamber. Oh, and the Booker T thing still irks me till this day, and I love Triple H, especially what he's doing.
Yeah, that was not good.
But that was just not. That was it just irks me.
Anyway,
so
the fact that they had Ethan Page reference the "I've lost my smile" because but it works for him because that's part of his gimmick. The whole ego thing is his smile.
Mm-hmm.
And saying that he's lost his smile, I was like, okay, this is fantastic. This is brilliant. And then when Javon came out, I was like, oh, what's going to happen here? Is he like suckering Javon into a trap? And it was. I'll just take your way out.
Yeah, such good stuff.
It was so good.
Shout out to Blood Capsules.
That was a hell of a blood capsule he chomped down on.
Yeah, and then apparently like they were showing him backstage like spitting up all of his. They're like, oh god, he's lost all of his teeth and stuff, and it's like, oh, all right, brutality.
He sold the hell out of that. That was so.
Let's
Thumbs up on that.
Now,
that was fantastic.
One thing I will question: talk about overbooking, or is it okay? Was it okay booking to you with that Trick Williams?
I think it's overbooking because
I think it's overbooking to me. That seemed overbooking.
He
literally just did the fallback thing, and then Thorpe just randomly just goes. Ugh.
I don't know why this was necessary because now this reeks of they're turning Oba and Trick into a triple threat. They're going to put Eddie in there, and it's going to be a triple threat.
And then Eddie's going to take the pin, and that way Trick doesn't lose to Oba.
Maybe,
but it doesn't. But it's Oba, so it's not going to hurt Trick to lose to Oba.
And it's like.
But I understand they're trying to do something. They're trying to give the ball to Eddie if he runs with it.
It's that's what's probably going to happen, and I can almost guarantee it because of the spoilers that are out there for the NXT taping. I had a feeling. I was like, are they going to put him into the title match with Trick and Oba at New Year's Evil? And looks like that's the plan. There's no other reason they would do this kind of finish, because then it's like, because if that title match wasn't happening, this would build toward another rematch. Mm-hmm. But because the Oba is and New Year's Evil's right in the corner, this reeks of, okay, now we're going to have to insert him in there in order to try to iron out this controversy. I don't think it's necessary unless they want to take the title off Trick without him getting pinned. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Is it why they would set this up to insert him in there? If they're doing that, that would probably mean that may not necessarily mean that Trick is getting called up right away. Maybe they want to keep him around until we stand and deliver, and then have him go up to the main roster, because then he can be like, "Yo, it's like I got robbed of my title again." Is like, it'd be a bit much because they had him lose the title in the fatal 4-way to Ethan that way, where Ethan pinned Javon to win the title. So
that finish was still weird to me, the way they did that.
It was weird, but it was
with Sean Spears like dragging out Trick and being like, "Oh my god, I didn't." I'm like, I don't know. Still a weird finish. So I understand that because everyone knows it's.
But this was the best I've seen Eddie Thorpe look in the ring. So
yeah, and shout out to Trick, but because it was a good match. It's just the finish was just kind of like, what was that?
And how could you not love that video package about the history of the NXT Women's Division and the Championship? Mm-hmm. That was just so good.
So good. Fractions. And speaking about Roxanne never losing the championship, Fraction's never going to lose. Never going to lose.
They're treating. You want to talk about like forever champions? That it feels like it's Fraxium right now in NXT. Not Roxanne.
That's not Roxanne, but yeah, Fraxium. And which I wasn't wanting them. I didn't want Wolfgang and them to beat them. I really want No Quarter. No Quarter is the one that I want to beat them.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a bit before they get another shot. Because they're doing a fatal 4-way to determine the next challenger.
Fraxium. I understand why they're keeping with Fraxium, because what else are you going to do with them?
Right,
and they're way too good of a tag team.
They got to work on building up some of the other teams, and because the rest of the NXT tag team division is kind of weak at this point. So it's like they're working on trying to build these teams up. Right. So they did a good job with No Quarter Catch Crew. No Quarter Catch Crew looked great at Deadline. So I have a good feeling that Tavion and Bourne are eventually going to win the titles. It just maybe a bit.
Yeah. So, all right. Wazil, is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think that's about it. I did miss Julian and Roxanne being on TV this week, but they'll be back soon.
Yeah.
And I did finally get my Julia shirt. It's ready to go.
All right, perfect. Well, speaking about seeing Justin in that brand new Julia shirt, we're gonna try. If we don't, we're sorry. We might see you next time in 2025, but we're gonna try and do next week Thursday on the 26th. We're gonna try. I'll be in a different location doing family stuff, So we will
Yeah,
keep
you
you
just
all
let me
posted.
know. I gotta work for the holidays, so I'm not going anywhere. So I'm gonna
Okay.
be here.
All right. Well, bah humbug to your boss. Come on,
Yeah.
man. Why you gotta Cratchit my dude Justin? Why you gotta Bob Cratchit him?
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said, thank you all so much. It's been Justin. It's always fun doing the show.
Yep.
And if we can't do a show next week, but if anything, it's been a great 2024 for this channel and Ruckus Wrastlin, especially this show. Like I said, we're looking to do a Royal Rumble, a watch along on that coming from Indy. But if anything, we're looking to do some more shows coming up in 2025. Might do a book club there. Might do some watch alongs as well. And I can't wait to see what Raw on Netflix has in store and every other thing that we can get to keep this whole wrestling world growing, because it is growing. It's growing fast, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we're building toward 2 big shows here: New Year's Evil for NXT and the Raw debut on Netflix. So there's big matches on both shows.
Yeah.
Right
for anyone out there, like, subscribe, join us on the Discord. It is free. Link down below. We sit there and talk anything around the sun. We also do bracket challenges called a Bracket Bitches Show, which we're actually going to do the college football playoff stuff there. Tushka and I are wrapping up. Yes, unfortunately, fantasy football season is coming to an end, but we're still going to try and do some other shows here and there as far as Ratty and obviously our Rev Sports wrap it up, which we might be coming back in 2025. Obviously, it'll be on Christmas Day. That Wednesday falls upon, which is I don't remember the last time Christmas falls.
Yeah, I was like, are you guys actually going to try and do a show at Christmas?
No. If anything, we might be. We'll try and do it. For anything, you all, if we don't see you all next week, you all have a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the holidays for everyone that celebrates out there. And join us on the Patreon if you want to get into the YouTube verse or anything like that. Patreon.com/RuckusTV. And we're growing. We're trying to get better. Let us know what you want to see me and Justin talk about. Do you want us to do a retrospective or anything of that nature? We would love to do that. Let us know. But on behalf of myself and Justin, we will see you all next time.